Segment 2, Gold and Black Live. I want to thank our sponsors and Hilton Garden Inn, Triple X, and of course, State Farm agent Trent Johnson. And we are privileged to have Brady Allen. And if you're a Purdue fan, you know who Brady Allen is. Of course, senior quarterback at Gibson Southern High School, who will be coming to Purdue next year to play in Jeff Brom's program. Yet, you're a high school senior. We talked offline here for a second that you got a big game tomorrow night, Friday night, and still focusing on some big goals for yourself and your team at Gibson Southern as you look into this and try to put the finishing touches on a successful 2021 season. Tell us a little bit about that, your game tomorrow, but also just a little bit of what's been going on with your, you've obviously had a very, very accomplished senior season, junior season on down the line, but talk about the game tomorrow night, because it's always top of mind awareness in terms of getting ready for that.
Yeah, for sure. Had a great start to the season. I think we've played our best football in my 4 years these couple games. So, really got going after that South Warren game. That really kind of set us back a little bit, humbled us a little bit, made us realize, we got to get better. But, playing really good football right now. Everybody's making plays, and I know Mount Vernon's really excited for the game tomorrow. We are too. We didn't get to play them last year, and both teams being undefeated in conference and, them being undefeated on the season, it really brings a lot of energy and a lot of excitement to us. So we're all looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Brady, I think you're completing like 75% of your passes or something like that. That's hard to do, without a defense on the field. But can you just kind of speak to the rhythm you're in as a quarterback, but also the same wavelength you're on with your receivers and your supporting cast and all that stuff this year, and what all has led to your productivity this year?
Yeah, I think we had a lot of guys from last year. A lot of guys, put in work this offseason, really got our chemistry down, and we're able to get ahead and, have a lot of things in our offense that allow us to do a lot of different things. And, we can move guys around in different spots. And, I think that we've just got a great group of guys. And, I think one time last week or the week before, I had like 8 seconds in the pocket. Yeah. So, just up front, has been the best in my 4 years. And I think we got a great group of guys around me and allows me to do my job to the best of my ability. So, I think it goes, without saying to a lot of the guys around me doing their job that allow me to do mine. But, I think for me, it's just the game's slowed down so much since last year, even, knowing where I need to go with the football and just being confident myself.
You look at your, having committed as early as you did, but, leadership role, all quarterbacks have to be good leaders. Talk about that development in terms of, knowing where you're going to go to at the next level, but still trying to be dialed in and be a leader of your Gibson Southern team and your friends and teammates that are on it. That's a dual role that, you have to keep your focus all going in one direction, I would think.
Yeah, it definitely is. That's why I committed early, so I could focus on these last 2 years and, not have to worry about college yet and just kind of focus on my junior and senior year. So that way, I could hang with my friends, be able to enjoy, my last couple months at home before I head to Purdue. So, I think that was one of the big things for me in committing early. And I knew where I wanted to go and felt confident in my decision. So, I think just being able to get that out of the way and, know where I'm going to know that's in the future, but just know where I am right now and, just focusing on the present. So
what sort of challenge was it in recruiting to go through the whole process during a pandemic?
Yeah, it was, it was a struggle. I think, it really, the good thing for me is, I'll be honest, I think it kind of hit me, where I wanted to go kind of early in the pandemic. So I didn't have to do a whole lot of getting there and other stuff, that involves that you do in the recruiting process. So, I think that was a big benefit for me, but it was definitely challenging, not being able to take visits, not being able to go to camps and do things like that. But, I was fortunate enough to know basically where I was wanting to go and was able to commit during the pandemic. So,
yeah.
Tell us, about your first experience, with meeting Coach Jeff Brahmer and whoever else recruited you out of Purdue at the time. But what was that experience in life, and what got you? I mean, Purdue's had a tradition of getting quarterbacks from Southwest Indiana. There have been some great ones, obviously, and yet what got you turned on to Purdue early on?
I think, as going through the process, me and Dad always talked about Purdue being a place that could really fit me if it ever came. I really got to talk with Brian a lot. Brian came into my high school a couple of times and was really able to, start it off and grow a relationship with him, and really felt confident in that. And then, just knowing, Brian and Jeff's background, that they've played the position at the highest level, and, I can be coached by that and, have that opportunity was big for me and my family. And being 3 hours away from home was also a major factor. So, I think everything just about Purdue and, what it entailed really was exciting for me.
Yeah. I think you were at the 2018 Ohio State game, weren't you?
Yeah. That was.
How big of a deal was that in terms of selling you on Purdue? That was a pretty memorable night for the whole program. Yeah.
I think going into that game, it was the Tyler Trent game. So that brought a different level of excitement to the whole place. And, just seeing Ross-Ade Stadium packed and, the games, we want to win those games. Those are the type of games we want to be able to compete in, and, make ourselves a known factor in the Big Ten. And I think, that was to experience that was really, super exciting for me, and just allowed me to, realize that, hey, I can, I want to take this place to, winning those games. So it was a big factor for me, and I was really excited I was at that game.
Right. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about what you'd like to do when you were growing up. And I mean, obviously football has been a big part of your life, but were you a baseball guy growing up? Did you play much basketball at the grade school level, or are you the greatest golfer in the history of man? I mean, what else do you like to do athletically outside of play a very good role at quarterback?
Yeah, golf is definitely not my game.
Okay.
That's something that's Dad and my brother's game. They've really gotten into that. But, growing up, I played a lot of wiffle ball, a lot of basketball with my brother. My brother was a big part of my childhood. And, he's 6 years older than me. So, he was putting it on me, not letting me have anything easy growing up, and we'd play each other, which really, kind of made me to the player I am today, and, helped me along the way. So, I'm thankful for that. But yeah, I really played growing up. I think baseball was probably my best sport. Basketball was second. I didn't play football until I was in 5th grade, and we moved back to here in Fort Branch. So, I think growing up, I always wanted to play, college basketball. But Dad was a college basketball player. Dad was a big basketball guy. And then my brother was a big basketball kid too. And, I think it's funny because me and my brother are going to play football in college, and my dad was a big basketball guy. So it's kind of funny. Dad never played football when he was a kid. So it's kind of funny how it all turned out. But I would say, growing up, baseball and basketball were my main sports, and had to make a tough decision going into high school that, I wanted to give those up and focus on football. So it was definitely a tough decision, but I think I made the right one.
You said you didn't become a quarterback till you moved back to Fort Branch. Is that what you said?
Yeah. So we lived in Fort Branch. Let me think. My first grade year, and then moved to Rockport over by Owensboro.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
And that's where Mom and Dad went to South Spencer High School.
Okay.
So we moved back over there, had a lot of family over there. And then I went to Rockport Elementary School for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And then we moved back to Fort Branch in 5th grade, and we actually bought the same house back.
Oh,
so really? It was a crazy turn of events how it all turned out. But yeah, so, with the program here too, it was a football school, having Coach Art, he really came in and changed the culture of this place. And, I think in his first year here, they went to semi-state. First or second year here, went to semi-state. So he really turned the place around, and got kids excited about football. And then once we moved back, I couldn't help but, strap it up and want to play football. So.
Right. Who kind of shaped you into the quarterback you are today? Who were kind of your influences at a young age that kind of taught you the position and all that stuff?
Yeah, my brother played quarterback when he was younger, so I really watched him a lot and watched him go to some camps. But once we moved back to Gibson Southern here, he actually played receiver when he was a junior and senior. But growing up, I watched a lot of Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. Tom Brady's mainly the guy I compare myself to, and just how he plays the game, and both of those guys, not being the most athletic, but being the most accurate and knowing where to go with the football and being the smartest. So I think, growing up watching those two guys have really had an influence on me.
Yeah, it's still amazing. Tom Brady's still doing it. So you can aspire to play till you're 50 also. Like Tom.
That would be awesome.
You got 32 years left, or 33. I don't know, you're 17 or 18, but that's a lot to aspire to. And obviously as a leader on your team and a team that's got the ability ranked very highly in your division, and you're not going to, and I'm not going to put you to say that you're counting victories, but there is a possibility. Brebeuf is on the other side. And you've got to know Joe Strickland. It would work out, and I happen to be a West Lafayette guy, so maybe the Red Devils will play you. But if you get that far, if you talk to, you do meet guys in your recruiting class or guys that have committed. Tell us about that relationship, even with Joe, but also other guys that you're looking forward to getting to know better when you get to West Lafayette.
Yeah, I think we got a great class so far. Joe was a big part of that class, being an in-state kid, and we've had a lot of talks about getting to play each other on Thanksgiving weekend. So that'd be exciting. I think we're gonna try to room together up there. So hopefully if it happens, I can pull it out and be the one to come out as number one. So little rub in his face a little bit, but we've had a lot of talks about that. But
he's gonna hit you.
He
You're going to get hit by him, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, I'm thankful he's coming at me now and not for the next 4 college. So, but
one step at a time. We're not putting that whammy on you just yet, Brady. Go ahead, Brian.
But no, I was just going to say quarterbacks aren't live in practice at Purdue. I don't think so. I don't think he's got anything to worry about when Strickland's.
Well, I'm just saying, he's going to hit him if they play at Lucas Oil.
Now, if they don't get along in the apartment they're going to live in, I can't speak to that. But
yeah, for sure. But we've had a lot of talks about that, and joking around about it, and asking how they're looking, how we're looking. So we stay in contact a lot. But I think as a class as a whole, I think we got a really good class. A lot of really good defensive players, and that's something that's big that Coach Brom is focused on. A lot of athletes, and then I think offensive line. We got 5 offensive linemen, so that's a huge plus. And just skill guys wise, Curtis DeVille and some of those other guys have really been a big part of our class. So really it's a good class, and excited to get up there with all those guys, and haven't got to meet all of them, but met a couple of them on my official, like Roman Petrie and some of those guys. So really excited to get up there here soon with them and get to work.
Academically, what lights your wick? What do you best in for in terms of your academics, and what do you want to take on at Purdue when you get to West Lafayette?
Yeah, going through school, I've always enjoyed history, learning about the past and everything. And I think once I get up to Purdue, I'm going to study sales and marketing. And then once for my master's degree, I'll get that in sports management. So probably minor in entrepreneurship or something too. So
you got name, image, and likeness. There's a lot of stuff going on with that too that can actually make for a really good experience in terms of learning about the entrepreneurial side. I think that's an interesting part.
Brady, you actually got to start as a freshman in high school. That doesn't happen all that much at quarterback, especially. Do you feel like your high school career is really the end has been kind of a long time coming? Not that you're looking forward to being over with, but you feel like you've been there forever?
Yeah, I think it's crazy that it's gone by this fast. I didn't expect it to, and everybody told me it would, and it has for sure. It's crazy that it's gone by this fast though, and hopefully just the last 3 years it hasn't finished the way we've wanted. Haven't got out of the sectional yet. And I know that's something that I get a lot of heck for, but not really worried about it. And I think we got the group to do it this year and, make a run. So.
Yeah, it's going to be a storyline that everybody will be watching. Hopefully for you, late into October, into November, and again, the opportunity potentially to get to Indianapolis and play in the state championships. That's a goal for everybody. I mean, that's what you want. That's what you want to get done, certainly, and that would be the weekend of Thanksgiving. All right, what have you watched Purdue? The Boilermakers are off to a good start. They have a huge game on Saturday against Minnesota that really could catapult it to even bigger heights. What have you seen so far, and what stands out to just watching this 2021 team play?
Yeah, it's exciting. I think I saw something today where they're off to the best start since 2012. So they're bringing a lot of excitement, and getting I think every home game's been just about sold out. So really excited, and I think we're going to get up there. Can't make it this weekend, but going to get up there for the Wisconsin game, and I think that one's already sold out too. So just a lot of excitement from the players. I know they're all ready to go, and it's been fun to watch. We were at the Notre Dame Purdue game a couple of weeks ago, and just the atmosphere Purdue fans brought into South Bend was awesome. And I think we just a few mistakes here and there, and we don't make, and we win that game. So I think just staying clean, staying focused, and got a big one like you said this weekend, and definitely want to get Minnesota back for what happened last year.
Yeah. Got time for one more, Brian. Fire away.
What kind of quarterback do you want to be at Purdue? What do you feel like you want to define you as a player, whether it be quarterback skills, whether it be as a personality, whatever it may be?
I think that's a good question. I think just being myself, not trying to do too much, just being the guy that knows the offense as good as I can, and then just being the most accurate with the football. I think that's the big things that Coach Braum, preaches and wants from his quarterback, and a guy that can be a leader. So I think just those three things, staying on top of those, and just making sure that those are always something that I value.
Yeah, well said. All right, well, Brady, thanks so much for your time. We wish you well in the rest of your season, and it's the old one game at a time, and you have a big one tomorrow night or Friday night against Mount Vernon. So best of luck in that situation, and we will be back in a couple minutes. Tom Dienhart and Brian and I will break down Purdue, Minnesota, which will be a big game for the Boilermakers. We'll do that in segment 3 in a couple minutes. So stay tuned, and we'll be back on Gold and Black Live.